Hey, William Gilmore here for the ScreenwritersJourney.com. It is day 297 of the journey, and I sort of had to force myself to sit down and do this blog post. It's been just over 2 weeks since my last post, and quite frankly, I've been lazy. I just haven't had the energy to do much of anything. I think that over the past 2 months between May and April, going to the Writers Conference in Nashville and all the excitement that happened there, and then having to do the rewrites for the script to get them out, the people who wanted to read them, and making contact with everybody, followed by the conference here in Burbank in May, going through the whole same process again and dealing with all of that. It was a lot of social networking going on, and a lot of rewriting. And I think when it was all over and I kind of came down from that high, I was just sort of like, I'm done. I'm exhausted, and I don't really want to do anything, and I need to find a job. So there's been a lot of job hunt going on, and that can take a lot out of you if you haven't done that recently. Just to sidestep away from the screenwriting stuff for a little bit, all these job postings that are coming up, it's entry level positions for associate producers where you need 10 years of experience editing, and you have to know After Effects and Photoshop, and you have to know how to run 3 or 4 different types of cameras, and you have to know how to do interviews with talent and people, and how to set up the lighting and how to rig all the audio. I'm like, is there nobody else working on this production? That's not an associate producer's job, and you want 10 years of experience? That's not entry level. And of course, then the caveat to the whole thing is must have Bravo experience. If you don't have Bravo credits, don't bother applying. I was like, oh my gosh. So what you're really saying is you want a really, really experienced person who can do everything, who will do entry-level pay, is what you're saying. And I've been applying for those, and then I've actually done a couple of interviews. I did an interview recently where the story producer told me that he and or she didn't know how to do string outs, had never done them because they didn't know how to work an Avid. They could push play. They told me, I know how to push play. So I need somebody who's really, really good at editing and can do string outs. Okay, that's probably not a good thing to tell your prospective employee that you don't know how to do the job. I don't know, just something that I think. Anyway, I said, yes, I can edit. I've been doing it for years. The editors that I have worked with when I'm not an editor have said that my string outs for reality TV are some of the best they've ever seen. And basically all they have to do is add music to them. So I thought that would be a good selling point for me. But apparently not. They went with somebody else. Probably somebody who would do it for even cheaper. So anyway, back to the screenwriting. I have made my monthly goal. We still got a couple days left in the month, but I have certainly made my minimum goal of 30 pages a month. I'm probably close to 60, or I'll have 60 by the end of the month. I'm really close to that. So I have managed to still get the writing out. It's been painful. I haven't enjoyed doing it. And if it wasn't for the fact that I was going to the Rewrite Writers Workshop on Thursday nights, I probably wouldn't have gotten that writing done. Tuesdays at 9 has gone down for the summer. They take the summer off, so that workshop is not happening. So I've only got the rewrites. And I've done a lot of that writing on the day that the pages are due. I've kind of worked it out in my head, but I haven't actually put it down on paper. So, but I have done it. I've taken in about 36 pages so far this month out of the roughly 60 that I've either written or rewritten. And the comments have been good. They've been really good, actually. The first session, which was 2 weeks ago, so it's 3 sessions ago, the comments were stellar across the board. letter saying, brilliant writing. This is absolutely brilliant writing. So, yay for me. The problem was, and I'm not sure what to do about this, it's a psychological horror. So it's not a slasher flick. There's not a lot of gore or anything like that. It's, what's actually happening. Is anything happening, or is it just happening inside the heads of our main characters, who are a bunch of partiers, so they've been doing some drugs, they do a lot of drinking, so are they hallucinating? Is anything actually happening? And at one point, our lead character, our hero, protagonist, Doug, who's a failing college senior trying to save his college career, is taken on an independent project where he's going to prove or disprove the existence of God, and he's going to visit these different paranormal locations and sort of do a study and see what happens or what doesn't happen. And he's been asked to take some friends along with him and put them into the horror story and see how they react to it. So he takes two of his friends, his two party buddies, and they're going to spend the night at the tramping ground and see what happens. And the comment that I got was, "Where are the girls? Where are the women? Three guys going into the woods. I don't want to go see that. I want to see," this was coming from one of the other writers, who's an older gentleman, who said, "I want to see the flopping tits. If there's going to be a horror story, the only reason I see horror is to see the naked women running through the woods from whatever it is that's chasing them." I was like, well, that's not really a psychological horror. That's a slasher flick. That's, I don't have scenes of illicit premarital sex with teenagers who get chopped up by Freddy or Jason or whoever it is, Leatherface. So that may be a problem if that's really what the audience is expecting when they go to see a horror film. But The Conjuring 2 just opened to great numbers, and there's no bare-breasted teens running through the woods in that. So maybe I can get by with it, maybe I cannot. I don't know. But that's been a continual question each week that I bring pages in. There's still no women running around naked. Where are the bare breasts? Great writing, but there's no tits. It's like 1940s studio. I don't know. It's I'm going to have to rework that maybe. I do have a sex scene coming up. It's not gratuitous. It's actually integral to the to the storyline. Doug is tempted by other forces, so we will get to see a sex scene, and I guess we'll get to see some nakedness with a woman. But I don't know about this whole idea of just having women running around in the woods naked. I think there can be more to the story than that. Anyway, the other comments for the script have been great, though, so it seems to be moving along. We'll just have to see where that ends up. In other news, I posted about screenwriting competitions a couple weeks ago and had submitted to several of them. One of them being Festival of Horror out of Canada. And that was one of those competitions that I said was kind of leery. Wasn't sure if it was legitimate or not because it's one of those that has a monthly deadline. We have a new competition this month. Next month we'll have another one, and another one. And we don't just have one competition each month. We've got 20 of them. Send us your money. We'll give you feedback. Well, I submitted the calling, and I heard back from them. I won, sort of, maybe. Probably just an honorable mention. They didn't really explain what it was. But congratulations. You've been selected to have one of your scenes, up to 7 pages, given a full videotape table read, and we'll post it online for you. And the winner of whatever this competition was supposed to get a full reading, so I guess I did not win the grand prize, because I didn't get a full reading. I'm only getting a partial reading. But my question is, well, does everybody get a partial reading? If so, then it's not really an honorable mention kind of thing, is it? So I don't know. They didn't post a list of winners or a winner. There is no... they posted for the April winner, got a reading that they posted the full table read videotaped in May, but nothing has been posted for June for the May winner, which is what I submitted for. So I don't know. I have no idea what that means to get that letter saying, we'll read a scene of yours. But, and here's the caveat to this, they do offer everybody who submits feedback. That's stated right up front, and I got my feedback from them. And it was surprisingly good. They, for the most part, really liked the script, thought it was well written. It's very, very close. It just needs a couple of tweaks here and there. Great pacing, great characters, great development, good backstory. Acts 1 and Acts 2, Acts 1 and 2 are really well done. Genuine scares, no jump scares written into it. That these are legitimate scary moments. Great visuals. Really good comments, and they gave a brief synopsis of the whole piece, so that it was obvious they had read the entire screenplay, because I've had that problem before where it was obvious they hadn't read, so this it was obvious they'd read. Their problem came in the third act, and all the comments that they made up to that point sort of mirror what Mark Castaldo from Destiny Pictures, who had requested to read the screenplay from the Burbank the Great American Pitch Festival, had said when the script was rejected. That he really liked Acts 1 and 2, thought it had problems in Act 3, that it got just a little wild and out there, and he was going to pass. So these comments that Festival of Horror had sort of mirror what he said. Acts 1 and 2, really well done. Act 3 starts to get muddled. And they got a little more specific. They had questions about what happened with the time jump that allowed the sheriff to be resurrected. What happened to the second grave? Who filled that? Did anybody fill it? Was it even necessary? They were confused as to what was going on. And I had an original ending that didn't have some of those issues, but there were other issues, like when Connor is saved from the falls. How does he explain that there's a dead sheriff in his office, in his house, and things like that? So by doing this, I thought I was answering those questions, but then I may have made a whole other set of issues for myself. So I'm going to have to go back and look at that ending, because now I've got two people, or two different sets of notes that have commented that there are problems with the third act. So back to the drawing board on that. Maybe it's something in between the two that I've written. Maybe it's a completely new ending. I don't know. I was hoping to get this into the Screencraft Horror Competition at the end of this month. I've only got 5 days left, so I don't know if I'll make that. I'm going to try. And what else happened over this period? Inktip.com has selected both the Calling and Come Ups as official selections for their newsletter this month. They had one in 1 week and one the following week. So both those got a little extra notice sent out to the industries. Like 15,000 industry professionals get the newsletter. So that has gone out. That has boosted the script viewings on the site. And it's been getting a lot of good attention on Inktip. And Come Ups, I believe, has had a script download, and someone is looking at that. So I've got to follow up with them in a week or two to see how that goes. So lots of things going on, even though I myself have not been that busy. I've sort of neglected the website. I haven't been posting the articles on the news page. I haven't been doing box office. I just didn't want to do anything. So luckily, I had enough things going on already that kept things going, and I did manage to get some new pages out this month. So as far as the Festival of Horror, just jump back to that for a moment. The competition part of it, yeah, I still can't really recommend that, particularly having gone through it now, and the information or the communication as to what that competition actually is and what you get out of the competition side of it, I don't know, because I don't know who the winners are. There's no list, so maybe I was a winner. I don't know. I can't really put that on a resume, or the little laurel leaves up or anything, because I have no idea what that is. But their notes were actually really good. They're not extensive. You only get a page, page and a half, but they actually made a number of points, and they brought up things that some other people have brought up. So for the $35 submission fee, the competition, I'm not sure it's worth all that. But the notes actually identified a couple of things. For $35, that may, if you're looking for just like an initial sort of set of notes before you go out for an in-depth analysis, that might be something you want to consider, because $35 is certainly a cheap way to go, as opposed to the $100 that the Austin Film Festival requires on top of their competition submission fee, and they can take months to get back to you. And this took about a month to get the feedback, as opposed to, I think it was 4 months on Austin Film Festival. So if you're looking for a cheap way to go to get some preliminary notes, that may be a way to go. Forget about the competition part of it and just get the feedback. Take that, run with it, and then go with somebody like We Screenplay or Screenplay Readers for your coverage notes. That may be something to consider. Anyway, I'm going to try and jump back on the stick here and get some writing done, and hopefully get back into the swing of things and get over this funk that I've been in. So that's what I have for now. As usual, I've gone on way longer than I intended, so I will let you go at this point, and please let me know how your own writing is going. Always anxious to hear what people have to say. And until next time, please. I missed it. Keep writing. I've been so good lately.